Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Plan Sarah Plan, and welcome to my plan with me for July 21st through the 27th. Welcome everyone, I'm really glad you're here, and today I'm going to be working in both of my Erin Condren life planners. This is the dashboard layout, this is the vertical layout. This one was gifted to me from Erin Condren, and this one was one that I purchased myself. I'm going to decorate with two sticker kits. In the dashboard layout, I'm using Sweet Honey from Bolderbon, and in the vertical layout, I'm using a sticker kit that was a gift to me from my planner friend Cynthia. This is called Crafty, and it's from a shop called BooPlans. I'll show you all of those sheets when we get to the vertical. Meanwhile, over here in the dashboard, I will show you the three sheets that are with Sweet Honey. Bolderbon is a wonderful sticker shop, and the sticker paper is so nice and buttery smooth. And there are several iterations of this theme of honey and bees that you can choose from. In fact, this is actually from one of the kits in the same series, and this is called Little Bee Garden, but look how similar to Sweet Honey. The real difference is going to be in these two sheets when you check out the other varieties of this kit. And this is actually Viewers' Choice Week, and in my Facebook group, I put up a poll asking whether you would prefer to see an all Dollar Tree stickers and washi and writing tools spread, or a second week with Bolderbon stickers, and Bolderbon won. So a couple of weeks ago, I also did a Bolderbon video. So this is going to be the second one, and that is the result of Viewer's Choice, the poll in my Facebook group. Let's take a little trip down memory lane. Last week, I super changed things up and made the dashboard layout into a kind of one-page horizontal. The week before that, and also this was a kit called Little Women from the Gold Project. The week before that, I believe this was called Shoreline, and it was from Bolderbon, and I did change things up here too. I used it differently, somewhat as it's laid out, but not as well. So I used 2 days worth to make one all the way across section for my memory verse, and then I went vertically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I split Saturday and Sunday. The week before that, I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I put my memory verse down here by combining, I think it was Saturday, I don't know, maybe this was Sunday, and this was the note section. So this week we're going to do another variation, and that variation is to just do it the way it's actually written on the page. So it's not really a variation, is it? It's just different than anything I've done so far. So we are going to cover up this July, and last week I showed you some stickers that I made, month flags, that I am going to put in my shop. Because once you cover this up, you don't know what month it is, and if you do want to know what month it is, that's helpful. The banner flag. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So I've just made one per quarter, and for every month I've made 5 banners in case you have 5 weeks. And this can go just like here, it can go here, wherever you want it to go. And maybe I will just wait and see how the page comes together before I decide where to put it. But that's going to go there before all is said and done. And to make this work, it's hard to write right here. This is probably the most difficult place to write in. I'm going to put my memory verse here, and I will use one of these and just write the memory verse before I put it down on the page. Yesterday in the mail, I received a new set of these Sharpie Creative markers. This is the new earth tone set. So the set that I've used before was, I probably like their original set that has primary colors as well as black and white and gray. Sorry about that noise. This is a whole different set of colors. So over here on the left, you see the 12 colors in the original set, except you don't see white. And then this is the set that I received yesterday. So they're still pretty bright, but if you take a look at this color right here, it matches these flowers so well that I'm going to go ahead and pull it in. In fact, this purple matches really well too, but I'm going to go with this lighter purple, and we're going to make borders around these boxes before we put any stickers down. And that light one is right here. And these markers, even though they look really big and chunky and they say Sharpie, they are kind of like paint. They don't bleed through your page, and they show up on top of dark paper. So they're really fun. The sticker kit comes with stickers to cover up these lines, so I doubt I will cover those up. What I'm going to do instead is just make some borders vertically. And I don't know how well this is going to work, because if you put one of these creative markers up against a ruler, it might bleed, in all honesty. It might. Let's try it somewhere. Let's do a sticky note and just see if it bleeds underneath the ruler before we actually put it on the planner. Yeah, it does. Right where you start it, it does. So how can I avoid that? If I just go quicker at the beginning, yeah, it still bled underneath the ruler in the center of it. But what if I push down really hard? Then does it? It's not as bad. So you'll have to tell me, what do you have experience with this? Like, what's a good idea? I don't know. This one was the best one, where I just pushed down the ruler. I could do it free-handed. I just don't think I will like the result free-handed. Okay, I'm going to do the first one over here on the right side of the page, and just not worry. I'm going to expect it to probably bleed through right here at the top, and I'm going to push extra hard right there. Okay, that was not bad at all, was it? Not bad. The only thing is this ruler doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the page. So there might be more bleed through. I better go ahead and push extra hard. I say bleed through, that's not really what I mean. I mean bleed under the ruler. Or spread. Maybe spread's the word. That's not bad though, is it? It's really not bad. And then this dries really quickly. It's on my finger there, so not that quickly, but you can even write on something like this and it will dry and stay. And it is removable. It's not permanent, but it's super cool. Okay, I'm going to push really hard right there at the beginning. Okay, that worked out. A little crooked. Maybe a lot crooked. Look how much that green is sticking through right there. Oh well. We're just going to keep it going in that same crooked direction though, so you don't see where I picked up the ruler. It just looks more homemade. What's the word? Homespun. Okay, push down really hard at the top. Oh, that one's great. That's my best one. I don't know why it's so important to me to have a border, but I really just like it better. Same way on my monthly view. I don't like open sides of the monthly boxes. Okay, now I guess we're going to start at the bottom and go to the top of the page. That's a good one too. Okay. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that, even though this one is a little bit slanted. I'm pretty happy with it. And we're going to go next to these. They're right down here at the bottom. They're pastel, so I'm not sure if you picked that up, but we're just going to alternate yellow and purple. And maybe put this in the middle and go like this. And then purple. I've got to show you guys a book that came in the mail that I ordered from a rare books dealer. It was so much cheaper through this bookseller of like used books. It's kind of like an eBay that is all for books. And I will have to look up the name of what this place was called, but it was the best deal. It's a book that my mother had growing up, and it's very dated. So don't judge the book by today's standards. It is very dated, but I'm going to show you this book. I ordered it because I used to love looking at this book as a little girl, and it was dated even for me growing up in the 1970s and 80s, but it was so much fun to read. It's like basically how to be a lady and how to act with boys, and how to be a good helper in your home and in your family. And it goes all the way to marriage. Like there's a chapter on when you find Mr. Right, and there's a chapter about studying the Bible. And I don't even think this was expressly a Christian book. It's just that that was so commonplace that being a lady involved your Christian faith. And anyway, we couldn't find this book that belonged to my mom. And up till about 10 years ago, I had the book. Mom gave it to me at some point. She didn't read it cover to cover or pay much attention to it when she was a teenager. I don't know that she adhered to the rules in this book, but I loved it. You know, maybe I was 8 to 11, and I just loved that book. It's called For You, Miss. For You, Miss. And since I could not find my mom's copy, I went ahead and just ordered a new one. I mean, it's old. The only thing that I miss about the other one is that I had written my name in it real big in my 6th grade handwriting in the copy that Mom had, and I don't have that anymore, obviously, but I'll show you the book. Here you go. It's like this profile that's incomplete of a young girl, and it says here, For You, Miss. It's by Carol Farenthiel, and I looked her up to see if she wrote anything else, and I think there was one other book that she did. And this is upside down. You guys probably knew that. To my mother. Look at that. She dedicated it to her mother. Now, in the original that I had written Sarah Reeser. That was my maiden name right there. And I don't even know if my mother wrote her name in it. She was like, she could take it or leave it when she was a teenager, but I loved it. But looky here. Here is an example. The girl I most like to date. The boy I least like to date. Prettiest girl in school. June Moon Spoon. That's about dating. Steady dating, best ever date, popular mistakes, meaning like what the crowd does, but maybe it's not the right thing to do. Best man to marry. I mean, can you imagine a book like this today? It came out in 1955, and it was the Standard Publishing Foundation in Cincinnati, Ohio. And now, maybe that was a Christian publishing house. I don't know. Look at the pictures. The boy I least like to date, and it's got a picture of a guy tossing a coin, and prettiest girl in school, and talking on the phone, and best man to marry, home survey, a list. I love lists. This is like, how many yes answers can you make? Number 1, I keep my own room neat and orderly. Number 2, I offer to help Mother and Dad with household chores and follow through with action. And it goes on to 18 of those. And then it talks about sisters. I just loved this book, you guys. I couldn't live without it. I had to order another one. And I love quizzes like this. Yes, not sure, and no. Aptitude. Let's do one question. Do I have the talent it takes or the natural abilities required by the occupation? What are we talking about? Name and address. This must be applying for jobs. Your school counselor will give you tests to help you decide. Okay. So yes, not sure, and no. And let me show you the last chapter. That's next to last. Solemn vows. And front and center, and she's reading her Bible. It's a very short chapter, just 3 pages there for you, miss. And you know, if you look on eBay, there's some very expensive copies. So I got a really good deal. I think this one was like $15 or something. I'm going to take the Heather dual tip marker from the Earth Tones set, I think. Could also be from the pastel set, I'm not sure. I'm going to use this to put the dates down. So we're just going to number these 21 through 27. There you go. Now, if you watched last week, and maybe even the week before, you know that in my vertical planner, I actually planned in the wrong week for a couple of weeks. And I got all my dates confused. This planner, I've been doing it in all the correct weeks, but we're going to have to make some adjustments when we get to the vertical because of how I've used up the current week with the wrong dates. So at some point, I'm going to need to go back and do now I'm going to go ahead, my instinct was to go here, but I'm going to go ahead and do it the way the planner has it laid out, left to right. We're just going to try all kinds of things week by week until I get comfy. Maybe you're doing something similar with yours. I've heard from some of you, like, I really like what you're doing, but I don't like that planner. I like the vertical. Because the vertical just makes more sense to me. And it does to me too. But I really like, it's not that I love this so much. I really like this. That's why I'm giving the dashboard so much leeway. Because this side reminds me of the compact vertical, and that one was not my favorite. I also didn't like how it didn't have borders around the days. So I had gotten to where I was bordering those as well when I did use compact vertical. And it definitely is better if you're going to draw some borders to go ahead and do what we did here, which was to make those borders before you put the stickers down. So you don't have to work around the stickers when you draw a long line. The memory verse is going to go here, but because I already said this, because I don't like to write down here at the bottom next to the coil, I'll write it on one of these before I actually place it, but we're going to hold off on that and instead put some checklists down on these days. And I think that's going to be the main thing that I do on this side. I'm probably not going to do much else besides checklists and dating. Because once I start putting event labels down, I have a harder time distinguishing one day from another visually. But next week, I am going to be using one of my kits that doesn't even have checklists in it. So I may make some just like little bullet point checklists for that one. It has primarily the event labels in it. But starting with my Artsy Life kit, which is the September theme, there are some changes made to my dashboard kit. It does have checklists, more than one per day actually, in case you want to do like 2 checklists on a day. And these are alternating yellow and purple as well, or lilac. Okay, so on the 21st, I've got a dentist appointment at 2, and I'm really just going to start at the top, check dot, I think, for each thing. Well, how about this? If it's an evening thing, I will use the bottom check dot. But if it's just any time during the day, I may put them in order chronologically, but I'm just going to list starting at the top, if that makes sense. So even though the dentist is at 2, it's the first thing that I have scheduled, other than Mom Day, which I have every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The dentist is the unusual thing, so I want to put it front and center. So dentist at 2. All right, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which are all right here, I'm wrapping my brain around that. I'm putting a circle and then just writing M for Mom. Not especially neatly, but I just want to see if this method is something that I like this week. Okay, so that just tells me at a glance that I'm going to visit my mom on those days. Then on the 24th, I have piano at 5:30. So I think what I'm going to do is put that one down at the bottom right here. And on the 23rd, we have a birthday party for little man who's turning 3, and that's in the evening. So we'll just put birthday party. My stepmom and my husband and I are going to drive a few hours away to visit my dad's graveside a few days ahead of his birthday. Look, I've already messed up because I felt like this was Wednesday. Why did I feel like that? That would never be Wednesday anyway, would it? I felt like it was the 23rd somehow, but this is the 23rd. So the birthday party actually goes here. So we're going to write it, and then we're going to white that one out. All right, on the 22nd, that is my grandmother's. She's not with us anymore, but that would have been her birthday. She would have been 108, I think. 108. She's born in 1917. Does that make her 108? It does. Okay, so we called her Granny Artie, and I'm just going to put Granny Artie 108. And I'm just going to put the July over here on the left side. Last week, that's what I did also. And that one was a Bolderbon journaling sticker. And then I put it on the right side there after the fact. I like just being able to see what month I'm in, even though I'm covering it up with washi tape. Okay, so now that's all I'm going to put on this part. I may fill it in with highlights of each of these days or key things that I did. But now we're going to come over here to this page, which is, what would we call this page? The productivity page or kind of list page. I really like it a lot. And last time we used a Bolderbon kit. I did it this way. Put the checklist here, a to-do there, and I really got messy on my habit trackers. I don't think I'm going to do that this week. Get messy, that is. But I will go ahead and put down a strip of washi right here where it says notes. We've got the notes header that I think I will put right in the middle, but staggered or offset, that's the word, a little bit. And we'll put the checklist down here. One purple and one yellow. Okay, there is a to-do script, so that will work just fine. There's a nice torn washi that is like the reverse of this, but a little bit less thick. That would look good right here, I think. I'm going to put a square sticker here to cover up half of these habit trackers. And then we'll put down these 3 stickers after we write on them. First thing is I need to cut orders every day. I need to clean something every day. And we need to water our flowers every day. It is so hot here right now, so they can't go long without being watered, and those are going to cover up these habit trackers. And we'll go ahead and use this habits header on the right side. And for the priorities, these are both unlined, but I think this one will give me more room to write my memory verse. So let's go ahead and just use this one for the priorities. I'm going to put the priorities on these sort of thick stickers, but not the ones that are the full length, just these kind of half size boxes. So the first priority will be to write my prayers of the month. I want to try to do those ahead of time through the month of December. Then I want to get my piano registrations out. I'm late doing that actually, so that needs to happen this week. And last, I want to organize some of my seasonal decor. So there's one more week in this month. I mean, we will switch over to August, but there's one more week here before I have to get all of my July goals that I had listed here finished. So that's comforting. So let's go yellow, purple, yellow. I should start with the middle one, which is going to be the purple one, because I am not good at spacing things very well. So I think that is just about the middle. And then we're going to put this one here. And I like how this looks. I need to do that again when I use another Bolderbon. And then this one here. Nice. Okay, I want to flip back to the memory verse for this week. It is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. And I'm going to write that on this sticker. Okay, this was much easier writing than if I had written it after I put the sticker down. And let's give it a little Bible. I kind of feel like purple's the accent color here, and that this is what it wants, some purple. Okay, at this point, what I want to do is write some things on my to-do list and figure out when possibly I need to do some filming. But let's go ahead and move this over. I did not put church here, and I was supposed to. Okay, so one of the things I need to film is my August setup plan with me. And then I need to, later in the week, hopefully Thursday, even though it's really kind of early, it's just the best time for me to film. I need to film next week's plan with me. So let's do, I can't get used to where Tuesday and Thursday are, so I'm reaping what I sow in terms of changing this up every week. Okay, so Tuesday, Thursday. On Tuesday, I'm going to film my August setup plan with me. So that's going to go here. And on Thursday, that's when I'll do the weekly plan with me. And then the other things that I have on my list, those really are day specific. The other things will just go on a to-do list, and I can do them when it is best. So one thing I'm working on is my October kits. I need to wrap birthday presents and finish ordering. I've ordered 2 presents, and I already bought 1 present for birthday boy. But there's another thing I want to get, so I need to finish getting presents, and then I need to wrap presents. I'd like to get all of my music theory questions for the coming year, and that is on my monthly top 3. So I needed to look at my monthly top 3. This is my weekly top 3, and this is pulling from a monthly list, but then when I looked back at my dashboard, I realized I have not finished my monthly top 3. There's also the wedding album project and the composing project. And just so that these top 3 don't get overlooked because they're so pretty, let's go ahead and put them in the list also. And then I guess the main focus this week is birthday boy. So let's put something for him up here in this square. Okay, so let's do a look here at what we have and a slow motion flyover. Okay, so this week I have kept the layout exactly as it comes to see how I like it. There was a bit of a boo-boo because I'm not used to where the days go, and I had to white out something that I put on the wrong day. But I'm liking the memory verse on that big sticker, easier to write when you do it before you place it. And then I really love the functionality of this page. This is why I like the dashboard layout, not that. All right, as promised, I'm going to be setting up my vertical also. This is a bit of a luxury to have two planners to set up in, but I want to feature this beautiful kit that was gifted to me from Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. And this is from a shop called BooPlans, and it looks like it's called Crafty. So the colors are really nice and vibrant. And here are the functional items and decorative items that are included in this, and I think it'll be really fun to set up. And since I already know what my week entails, since we've already worked on that, this should not take terribly long to do. And it's always fun to try out a new sticker shop that I haven't used before. And these are very vibrant. Look how perfectly that is sized. I don't have a discount code with BooPlans, so, and this paper feels really nice too. This might be another case of something similar to the Bolderbon paper, but not exactly. Feels like it is maybe vinyl. I'm not positive. Let's go ahead and put this weekend banner down over here. I'm just having fun because I've already done all the thinking for this week. And now what I'm going to do is just be kind of decorative. Look at the long glittery strips. This is neat. What should I do with these? I don't know if I'm going to use those. I might use these glittery strips instead. There's 7 of these. I bet there are. 1, 2, I can't see the outlines, but I'm feeling, I think, 7 of these. And we could, since there are 3, we could do top, middle, and bottom. So the middle could be this nice pink glitter, and the bottom could be purple. And I won't make you sit through every little piece of glitter tape. I will just go poof. Wow, doesn't that make a big difference? And there are some more. There are actually 3 more, so there are 10 of each color of those. That's really nice. And this notes sidebar could be a place for me to write my memory verse. Let's, though, put the dates down first, if we have any dates. Let's see. I'm not even sure if we do. We have full boxes. Here they are. Here are some dates. So those are going to go right here. Look at the contrast in these colors, how fun this is. Really bright and happy. Cynthia, thank you so much. What a sweet gift. And it's always so much fun to try a new sticker shop. And so far I'm really liking these. It looks like everything is sized very well, and the brightness is so nice, very vivid. So give BooPlans a look. I will take a look on their shop also. And I imagine they're on Etsy, but I haven't verified that. But let's all just check Etsy. And then we've got numbers because I saw those and I like how bold they are. So we will just put those down without you sitting through it. Nice. And then we're going to scatter these cute full boxes around. And I like how this girl has black hair because that matches me. And then I love the craft room here and I would call this a planner bag, but it's not. It's like, looks like some threads and scissors and stuff. So it's just crafty in general. Washi tape here and a planner. We'll pretend like she's designing stickers and she's cutting something out. This is like a fancy bow that somebody made. Okay, so I'm going to do Last week we went up and down, and that was kind of neat. Over here, we just kind of put things together where they looked like they would go nicely together. On this week, I think I'm going to do the up and down thing again because I really liked that. Voila. So I did it differently because before I went all the way up and then started at the top and went down here and then up to the middle. But this way I was able to go up and down twice. I think that's super cute. And I saved my favorite one, the craft room, for the focal point. Look at this. It says create, and she's got all these little cubbies there with organizers for all of her craft supplies. Love that. Let's put down these cute check boxes and maybe just put them on one of the empty boxes. There's room if I wanted to put a header, I could. But I think what I'm going to do is just plop these down and then hold off on doing a header because it's just going to mean to do. Let's put this one down at the bottom to be different. And it looks like these are the same color. If you start going left to right, they match the date cover. So that's kind of neat. They definitely feel like they are weatherproof matte or vinyl. Very nice. And on Sunday, I'm going to keep it on the bottom and just put church and Sunday dinner here. All right, I'm going to go teach a piano lesson and then I will continue this when that is over. All right, I'm back and it's actually 2 days later. And take a look at the cute little flags that say to do. And I am going to predict that these match and are lined up in the same order that the date covers and the checklists were. And we're just going to use that extra space above the checklist to put a little to-do flag. Very cute. Isn't it interesting how everyone has their own creative ideas for designing kits? That's why even though I have my own shop and I love to create kits, I also want to continue using other people's because I have so much fun with different ways of doing things. And even though they're all kind of alike in some ways, they all have their own unique spin, and that's just part of the fun of doing decorative planning, in my opinion. You know, since there is purple here above this thick washi and teal here, and those are attached to the pattern, I could go ahead and just mimic, put a purple glitter strip at the top and a teal glitter strip on the left page. They don't have to match, do they? No, I mean, they match, but they don't have to be the same color. So why not? We're being crafty. The name of the kit is Crafty. Let's get crafty. Okay, now with this sticker paper, I'm not sure how the handy scraper will do. Yeah, you see how that's a little bit trickier? That tells me this is like a vinyl paper or a weatherproof matte paper. This is what the payday stickers look like in this kit, and I believe they are 1.5 inches wide, so they use a whole column like that. I like these a whole lot. I also like these patterned washi strips that I should probably figure out a way to use. But since I have Mom Day on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I could use these to jot down what we're going to do or just write Mom Day. Or I could use 4 of them and write Home Day. But I'm leaning toward doing Mom Day on these. So let's just zoom in here and write Mom Day on one, two, well, let's see what colors we have. Teal and magenta and red. So yeah, it needs to be this, this, and this. We're going to write Mom Day. FYI, your dual tip markers from Erin Condren work nicely on this. So no worries there. I generally, when I'm not sure about new sticker paper, like to give it a sec to dry. So we're going to put these in the open boxes. That's really cute, you guys. I like it. And the washi tape at the top of these notes has hearts on it, if you can't see it. And Friday, still enough room, right? Even though I have the payday sticker there. Great. Okay, let's fill out some event labels. I'm going to put church on this one. Birthday party on this one. And let's stop with that for now and place them, and then we're going to write directly on the page. Okay, so on Monday, that's when I had my dentist appointment. I'm just going to put it right at the top of the checklist. Then we're going to go up here and write film August setup plan with me. And on all 3 of these days, we're definitely going to cut orders. And how about we make a memory verse header with red right here. And then add it to the top of the sidebar. With a bow underneath it. There are 3 bows in here, 1 of each of the main colors. I like that bow a lot. And we could put up here a row of hearts. If this is a row, I don't know. It is. Let's put a row of hearts up here. I am going to go ahead and use the notes sticker for the sidebar, but I'm going to take off. Did you hear that thunder? I'm going to take off the part that says notes and place it right under that bow. And maybe we want the bow to overhang a bit, so we'll just pick up the bottom of the bow and tuck this underneath. Let's go ahead and put the same top 3 that I put in the dashboard down here. And I can't remember what the 3rd one was, and I can't look at my dashboard planner because I've already taken it upstairs to be writing in it. So I'm going to be right back after I check my camera. Got it. Write prayers through December. And of course, I won't have that whole to-do list that I had on the right side of the dashboard planner, and that's one thing I like about the dashboard planner is to just have that handy. So let's also, before we do a slow motion flyover, write down that this kit was a gift from Cynthia, and it's called Crafty, and it's from BooPlans. Okay, so now let's open it up again, and we'll do a slow motion flyover like this. And these colors are so bold and vivid, and they remind me of the late 80s and early 1990s. Does it give you that vibe too? Okay, I have some leftover stickers from both kits that I use, so what do you say we do a little bit of sticker consolidation? That was highly satisfying, and I went from 5 sheets down to 2 for this crafty kit, and from 3 sheets down to 1 here. And I'm going to put these in my giveaway pile, and they'll go into my giveaway box, and this is hopefully going to go to somebody who will enjoy just trying out things from different sticker shops. And because I took the shop names off of these, I will take a permanent pen and write, well, not a permanent pen, let's take the Sharpie. Oh, we're going to test this on the back of sticker paper. This is the one that has a black in it. The original set had a black in it. So we're going to do Boo. It writes very large. Plans. Crafty. And this is the other BooPlans. And then we had Bolderbon. Sweet Honey. I don't think that ink is going anywhere. No, it's fine. So these are going to go into my giveaway box. So here are both spreads side by side, and they have very little in common. They have a little bit of purple in common, but really the only thing they have in common is that it's the same week. But it's so fun to work in these two layouts. I'm going to use the vertical layout as an overview. It's not going to get messy. I may end up coming in and writing something in these boxes and adding to the to-do list, but mainly this is going to stay nice and pristine. On the other hand, this one is going to get written in a whole lot, and I will add things to the notes here, hopefully add things to my to-do list, and most especially, hopefully, check off some things on my to-do list. And what I like to do at the end of my weekly plan with me's is say a prayer for the upcoming week. And this is the prayer that I'm using throughout the month of July. And I invite you to pray it with me if you would like to. Father of perfect love and true freedom, we join hands virtually to come to your throne of grace. First, we praise you for the unfathomable magnitude of who you are. When we search the sky for stars at night and cloud formations during the day, we get only a hint of how vast and far-reaching your creation is. And although that might intimidate us when we realize how very small we are, by comparison, we are assured by your word that you have taken us as your children and invited us to know you. Have we each invited you to know us? Have we opened the door of our hearts to Jesus and accepted him as our Savior and Lord? Keep knocking on those doors, Father, if they have yet to be opened fully to your forgiveness and love. We ask you to tear down systems of evil in this world and usher in the day when every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that you are the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. We join in asking that wrong shall fail and the right shall prevail. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Well, friends, that's going to do it for this week's plan with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate you coming and checking in with my channel. If you liked the video, I do hope you'll give it a like. I usually don't remember to say that, but I have been reading and learning that when you give a video a like, it makes it show up as a suggested video for more people. So I would love for more people to discover my channel, and that is a way that you can help me if you're so inclined. So I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.